Hello and welcome to my channel. Now for these videos I'm going to be splitting up into 3 different types for each of the E3 conferences, because last year I only did like a quick review of the whole E3 experience last summer, and I didn't really think it got the treatment it deserved, so I thought I'd do 3 separate videos covering each of the press conferences, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. And so with that said, we're going to start off with Microsoft. First things first, Call of Duty. They brought out the new Call of Duty game this year, and of course it's more of the same. You got the shooting, you got the subpar gameplay, and it's gonna sell well regardless of what I say. So, I mean, I used to be a big Call of Duty fan until I got really bored. It was just the same thing over and over again every single year, with really the only thing that kept me interested was zombies, and without what they call Treyarch behind it, I'm not too thrilled or excited or anything. Next, Forza game, another racing game. Not a big racing game person. The only racing games I have ever really enjoyed were the Mario Kart games, because not exactly racing, it's more like battling while trying to get to a finish line. Assassin's Creed Unity. A lot of people were hoping that the next Assassin's Creed game was going to be in the samurai era over in like Japan and stuff, and you would be battling shoguns and the like. But they decided to go with the French Revolution, which I think is probably the better choice, considering that it follows a timeline a little bit better. It started off with the Renaissance, then it worked over to American Revolution, and then it's just the pirate times during the 1800s, and of course the French Revolution, which kind of goes together. I can't really say a heck of a lot, because haven't really played a heck of a lot of Assassin's Creed games, so make of that what you will. Sunset Overdrive. Wow. This game, out of all the games I saw at the Microsoft press conference, this was the game that got me the most interested. One of the biggest reasons being is by one of my favorite video game developers, Insomniac Games, who have made some of my most favorite games from both the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. Not really I can think of besides more Ratchet & Clank on PlayStation 3. I even still have my Spyro Year of the Dragon game from PlayStation 1. Can't play it at the moment, but I might get a PS3 later down the line when they get like really cheap, so I can play it again. Or just pay 20 bucks on eBay for a PlayStation 1 to play that. But the visuals in this game, they actually poked fun at the shooter genre with the beginning. They have these guys like using the cover mechanic, shooting at each other like a regular Call of Duty game. And then suddenly, this guy bursts through the door with the Insomniac Games logo on the door, and just goes, "Cover mechanic, huh?" And then he just shows off all the flashy little weapons he has, and he goes through the backstory of the whole game. And of course, it's voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, who is a pretty good voice actor, and I think he really fits the role as this cocky, fun-loving maniac kind of guy. And that's the only game, really, that has made me question not getting an Xbox One. Project Spark. This is a weird type of game. It's kind of like Little Big Planet from what I can tell, where you design your own type of game modes and game characters and pretty much build your own type of gaming. But then Microsoft went pissed off a lot of their fans by including Conker at the end. Those of you who don't know, who didn't really grow up with the N64, Conker is this little foul-mouthed squirrel from a game called Conker's Bad Fur Day. And back when Rare got bought out by Microsoft in, what was it, 2001 or 2002, they made like a rehash of Conker's Bad Fur Day, like just a graphical upgrade, and we haven't seen anything for like 10 years. So instead of trying to make an original game for him again, like another sequel, they decided to just half-ass it and let you design a game for him. Some people might like that, others see that as a betrayal from a once great game studio like Rare, who's just been reduced to making Kinect games, and I can understand that a lot. I used to love some of the Rare games like Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64, and the like. So, and if you think it wasn't that bad for some fans, I suggest you go over to JonTron's channel and watch his reaction to that. I'll give you a small clip right here.
I love you! I love you!
Yeah, that's pretty bad, isn't it? More Halo games, this is actually, a lot of people don't like it when they just HD remake some games, but they're actually going to include all 4 original Halo games into one Master Chief Collection, which, depending on the price, is a really good deal for the Xbox One. If you have an Xbox One, I would highly suggest you get these games or this collection, because if it's like another $60 game, which is same price as all, you get 4 games in one. Great multiplayer. I think this is a great use of the HD upgrades. They show a little bit more of Halo 5. I haven't gotten an Xbox One. I don't plan to really in the future until they really gain my trust back from last year. But Sunset Overdrive has really made me want to get the Xbox One. Not that I'll be able to anytime soon, but still. We saw a little bit more of the Phantom Pain from Metal Gear Solid from Hideo Kojima. I haven't played any of the Metal Gear Solid games, so I can't really weigh in there. All I know is that the cutscenes are probably going to be like 50 hours long, which is true to the Hideo Kojima, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. New Crackdown game. A lot of people have been asking this for what, like 5-6 years? One of the biggest games, free roaming games out there, where you could like zip line from place to place in this huge island, which some people have said is even bigger than Skyrim. I haven't played the games, but from what I've seen, they do look pretty good, and they do look like a lot of fun. So you got that going for you. More of The Division, which has been delayed to next year. I'm not sure if that's because Tom Clancy passed away or what is it about. It's like the whole thing with Watch Dogs, where they want to improve the graphics capability, even though Watch Dogs didn't really need that 7 months considering the graphics they have now that I've been playing with. It just sounds like, I don't know, it just sounds like a delaying it just to hype it up some more to me. New Tomb Raider spinoff. Now this was a multiplayer Tomb Raider game back on the I think it was Xbox Live in 360 era, and I haven't been a huge Tomb Raider fan. I played the original ones on the PlayStation 1. I always felt like the controls were a little bit stiff. I've played a little bit of the new ones, and I think they're okay. They're just not my cup of tea. That was Microsoft's, and it was a good press conference compared to last year. Oh dear God, last year. There's no way they could do any worse than last year, considering. And there's the other thing. They didn't talk about the Kinect once during the whole conference. I don't think I saw anybody mention the Kinect, and that just shows they're trying to stay away from it because of how many people don't want it. And now that they're unbundling it with the system, that's a good idea in lowering the price, because now a lot more people will get the Xbox One. I myself still am a little bit hesitant about getting it, considering I don't want to pay for everything on Xbox Live anymore. I already had to do that when I owned a 360, and right now I'm on PlayStation 4, and I can still talk with my friends and play free-to-play games with them without needing it. But then Xbox has reversed a lot of its policies, including being able to watch Netflix without having an Xbox Live account, thankfully. Which only makes sense since every other system out there, mobile or whatever, lets you watch Netflix for free, besides what you pay for Netflix. But yeah, overall it was much better. Didn't talk about TV, thankfully. Very good conference. I don't know what to say from there. It was okay. It wasn't the most exciting press conference out there, but it was a hell of a lot better than last year. I'll give it that. But I'm really looking forward to Sunset Overdrive. I just wish it was an Xbox One exclusive. It makes me feel like I'm betrayed by Insomniac Games, since they were always PlayStation, but hell, they gotta branch out, I guess, and we need some inclusive games onto one system, or else what's the point of buying any one system without having any of them having exclusives? So yeah, let's see how the next one goes.